Hello, future biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of diversity in living organisms. Today, we are diving deep into the simplest forms of plant life, Thallophyta. We'll explore organisms with no well-differentiated bodies, like the fascinating algae ulva and Spirogyra. Get ready to uncover their secrets, from easy concepts to competitive insights, over 4 engaging levels. Let's begin. Ready to discover the most basic plants? Let's start with the easy level and understand what makes Thallophyta unique and simple. Thallophyta is the first and simplest division of the plant kingdom. The name itself comes from thallus, which means a simple, undifferentiated plant body. Imagine a plant without true roots, stems, or leaves. That's a thallus. These organisms are primarily found in water. Their key characteristic is this simple body structure, lacking any specialized organs. They are also autotrophic, meaning they make their own food through photosynthesis, just like other plants. So, think of them as the original plant pioneers. The most common examples of Thallophyta are algae. Let's meet 2 fascinating ones, ulva and Spirogyra. Ulva, often called sea lettuce, is a type of green alga found in the ocean. It has a flat, sheet-like body that looks like a leaf, but it's not a true leaf as it lacks complex tissues. Then there's Spirogyra, commonly known as pond scum. This green alga thrives in freshwater and forms long, unbranched chains of cells. It's famous for its unique spiral-shaped chloroplasts inside each cell, which are essential for photosynthesis. Time to test your understanding. Think about these questions. First, what is the defining characteristic of a thallus body in Thallophyta? Second, can you name 2 common examples of algae that belong to Thallophyta? And third, where do most thallophytes primarily live? Pause, reflect, and see if you've got the answers. Now, let's deepen our knowledge. In the medium level, we'll explore the thallophyte body in more detail and understand their diverse habitats and simple life cycles. The thallus body of thallophytes truly sets them apart. It's undifferentiated, meaning there are no specialized tissues for specific functions like water absorption or transport. Unlike higher plants, they completely lack vascular tissues xylem and phloem, which are responsible for carrying water and nutrients over long distances. Instead, every cell in the thallus can directly absorb what it needs from the surrounding environment. This simple structure allows them to thrive in diverse habitats, predominantly aquatic ones like freshwater ponds, lakes, rivers, and even vast marine oceans. Some can also be found in extremely moist terrestrial locations, adapting to varying light, nutrient, and temperature conditions. Let's revisit our examples, ulva and Spirogyra, with a closer look at their lives. Ulva, the sea lettuce, is a marine green alga with a thin, bright green, flattened thallus. It can grow quite large and attaches to rocks using a simple holdfast, which is not a true root. Its entire body efficiently performs photosynthesis. Spirogyra, the pond scum, is a freshwater green alga that forms long, unbranched filaments. Its cells are distinctive, housing beautiful ribbon-like, spiral chloroplasts that are central to its food production. Reproduction in these simple organisms often involves fragmentation, where a piece breaks off and grows into a new individual, or simple sexual fusion, reflecting their basic body organization. Beyond ulva and Spirogyra, the broader group of algae within Thallophyta is incredibly diverse. They are often categorized by their dominant photosynthetic pigments. For instance, green algae, like our examples, contain chlorophylls A and B. Brown algae possess chlorophylls A and C, along with a pigment called fuchsanthin, giving them their characteristic brown color. Red algae are rich in chlorophyll A and unique phycobilin pigments like phycoerythrin, which allows them to absorb blue-green light, enabling them to live in deeper waters. This pigment diversity is a key to their wide distribution and ecological success. Alright, let's test your medium-level understanding. First, explain why thallophytes are said to have an undifferentiated body. Second, how do thallophytes absorb water and nutrients without true roots? Third, describe two key differences between ulva and Spirogyra. Fourth, what are the characteristic chloroplasts found in Spirogyra? And finally, mention two ways thallophytes can reproduce. Take your time to answer these questions. Ready to dive deeper? The hard level will connect Thallophyta to the grand story of plant evolution and compare them with other plant groups. Thallophytes are true evolutionary pioneers. They represent the earliest forms of plant life on Earth, paving the way for all subsequent plant diversity. Algae, in particular, were the first organisms to develop chlorophyll A and B, initiating large-scale photosynthesis and profoundly contributing to the oxygenation of our planet's early atmosphere. Their aquatic origin explains many of their characteristics. The lack of true roots, stems, and leaves, along with the absence of vascular tissue, is not a limitation but an efficient adaptation for an aquatic existence. In water, every cell can directly absorb nutrients and gases, and water provides the necessary support, removing the need for rigid structures. They also lack a cuticle, a waxy layer found in land plants, because desiccation isn't a threat underwater. Let's compare thallophytes with slightly more complex plant groups. Thallophyta, like algae, have an undifferentiated thallus body, no vascular tissue, and no true roots, stems, or leaves. Bryophyta, which include mosses and liverworts, are the first land plants. They have a simple plant body with primitive root-like rhizoids and stem-like and leaf-like structures, but still lack true vascular tissue. They are dependent on moist environments for reproduction. Pteridophyta, such as ferns, are a significant leap forward. They possess a body truly differentiated into roots, stems, and leaves, and crucially, they are the first plants to have true vascular tissue. This allowed them to grow taller and colonize land more effectively, though they still rely on water for fertilization. Beyond their evolutionary past, algae play indispensable ecological roles. They are the primary producers in most aquatic food chains, converting sunlight energy into organic matter, thus forming the base of life for countless aquatic organisms. Moreover, algae are massive contributors to Earth's oxygen supply, estimated to produce between 50 to 70% of the atmospheric oxygen through their photosynthetic activities. Larger marine algae, often called seaweeds, also create vital habitats and food sources, forming underwater forests that support diverse ecosystems. Their presence is fundamental to the health and balance of both freshwater and marine environments. Now for your hard-level questions. First, discuss the evolutionary significance of thallophytes. Second, explain how the lack of true roots, stems, and leaves is an advantage in an aquatic habitat. Third, why do thallophytes not possess a cuticle? Fourth, compare the body differentiation and vascular tissue in Thallophyta and Bryophyta. Fifth, describe the primary ecological role of algae. Sixth, if thallophytes lack specialized organs, how do they perform essential functions? And finally, what key adaptation in Pteridophyta, absent in Thallophyta, allowed better land colonization? Pause and consider your answers. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll delve into the intricate details of algal classification, reproductive strategies, and their profound impact on our world, pushing your understanding to competitive depths. In modern biology, the term Thallophyta is largely considered an artificial grouping because algae are actually a polyphyletic group, meaning they don't all share a single common ancestor to the exclusion of all other organisms. However, within this broad concept, we find remarkable diversity. The major groups of algae, often studied under Thallophyta, include Chlorophyceae, or green algae, characterized by chlorophylls A and B, storing starch, and having cellulose cell walls. Phaeophyceae, the brown algae, possess chlorophylls A and C, and the pigment fuchsanthin, storing laminarin and mannitol. Rhodophyceae, or red algae, are unique with chlorophyll A and phycobilins, storing Floridian starch. These distinct pigment compositions allow them to absorb different wavelengths of light, thriving at various depths in aquatic environments. Algae exhibit a fascinating array of reproductive strategies. Vegetative reproduction, like fragmentation, is common, where a piece of the thallus simply grows into a new individual. Asexual reproduction occurs via various types of spores, such as motile zoospores or non-motile aplanospores, allowing rapid proliferation. Sexual reproduction is highly diverse, ranging from isogamy, where gametes are morphologically identical, to anisogamy, where they differ in size, and oogamy, involving a large, non-motile egg and a small, motile sperm. Many algae also display alternation of generations, cycling between a diploid sporophyte and a haploid gametophyte stage, which can be either isomorphic, meaning they look similar, or heteromorphic, where they have distinct appearances. This complexity in reproduction highlights their evolutionary versatility. The ecological and economic impact of algae is immense. Ecologically, they are responsible for an astounding 50 to 70% of the Earth's atmospheric oxygen production through photosynthesis, making them indispensable for aerobic life. As primary producers, they form the crucial base of nearly all aquatic food webs. Economically, algae are a rich source of valuable products. Agar, alginates, and carrageenan, derived from red and brown algae, are hydrocolloids widely used as gelling agents, thickeners, and stabilizers in food, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics. Edible seaweeds like nori and kombu are nutritional powerhouses. Furthermore, microalgae are being extensively researched for their potential as sustainable biofuels due to their high lipid content and rapid growth, offering a promising alternative energy source. Even as biofertilizers, certain cyanobacteria, often grouped with algae, contribute by fixing atmospheric nitrogen, enriching soil fertility. Algae display an incredible range of structural and cellular diversity. They can be unicellular, like Chlamydomonas, or form colonies, such as volvox. Many are filamentous, forming unbranched chains like Spirogyra, or branched structures. More complex forms are parenchymatous, resembling tissues, as seen in ulva and large kelps. Their cell walls, primarily cellulose in green algae, also incorporate unique polysaccharides like algin in brown algae and agar or carrageenan in red algae, providing structural integrity and unique properties. The presence of diverse accessory pigments beyond chlorophyll allows them to capture different wavelengths of light, enabling them to thrive across various light conditions and depths in aquatic environments. This adaptability underscores their evolutionary success and widespread distribution across the globe. Now, challenge yourself with these hardest level questions. Part 1. First, explain why Thallophyta is considered an artificial grouping. Second, differentiate between Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, and Rhodophyceae based on pigments and storage products. Third, describe the three main types of sexual reproduction in algae. Fourth, how does pigment diversity help algae inhabit various aquatic depths? And fifth, discuss two significant industrial applications of algal products and their sources. Here are the remaining hardest level questions. Part 2. Sixth, elaborate on alternation of generations in algae, distinguishing isomorphic and heteromorphic types. Seventh, beyond oxygen, explain another crucial ecological role of algae. Eighth, compare the cell wall composition of green, brown, and red algae. Ninth, evaluate the potential of microalgae as a sustainable biofuel source. And 10th, how do the various structural forms in algae reflect their evolutionary adaptations and ecological niches? Good luck! And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Thallophyta. We've journeyed from the simplest concepts of their undifferentiated bodies to their complex evolutionary roles and profound economic impacts. We hope this exploration has ignited your curiosity and expanded your biological knowledge. For more such engaging and in-depth educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning with us.